All right, so today we're going to go over our new vocabulary for the story We Were There Too, and we're going to listen to the story. If you would like to join our Zoom meeting today at 9:35 or at 12:30, you do not need to actually type in the slides. So if you are able to join us for those meetings and you participate in class, you do not have to type in the answers to the slides. If you are unable to make the Zoom meetings, I ask that you please answer those questions using complete sentences. All right, so let's go over our new vocabulary words. The first one is rural. So I'd like to hear you say it back to me. Are you ready? Rural. Tedious. Lacked. Personally. Organize. Mocking. Efficient. Summons. Mimic. Peel. All right. So looking back here, let's go over the words to see if we can figure out any context clues to help us determine the meaning. Many colonial children lived with their families in rural areas on farms in the countryside. So do you know some other words to describe an area, such as suburban or urban? And then there's rural. So most of Selinsgrove, most of our students are probably students that live in rural areas, okay? So you live out in the countryside. A few of you live in town, which would be the opposite of rural. Okay, so use those context clues to help you. Here it says on farms in the countryside. That signals or helps you figure out the meaning of the word. Let's do another one together. Tedious. These children are bored by the tedious or dreary chore of collecting firewood. So what is something that is tedious? It is a chore that's not particularly fun to do, okay? Sometimes tedious work is that very fine work, the stuff that you have to be very careful with, or it can also be just a boring or dreary chore of, like, for example, collecting firewood, okay? You might find cleaning your bedroom to be tedious because it's a boring chore that you have to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to read over these words just like we did together, and you're going to use context clues in the sentences to help you determine the meaning of those words. After you have done that, you're going to answer the questions. From whom might you like to receive a summons? If you lacked the time to do your chores, what would you do? If you didn't have time to do them, what could you do? Okay, so you'll answer those questions. Again, if you are joining the class for the Zoom, you do not need to do the typing. If you are not able to join the class, then you must type in your answers here. The final thing you're going to do for today's reading assignment is listen to the story. We Were There Too. You can click on the Journeys textbook. The story starts on page 449. So again, up here at the top, get that yellow box, 449. You may choose to click on audio to listen to it, or you may just choose to page through and read it on your own, okay? Pay close attention to some of the text features, like these different sidebars. We call them sidebars, even though they're not always on the side. The pictures with their captions, pay attention to those and don't skip over them. Make sure you read those as well. If you have any questions, please let me know.